Hello, love. Good morning. My name is Jay Song. Hello, everyone. Welcome to ChartRoom. All right, let's begin. Everything in today's video is never financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. I eat red crayons for breakfast. Trading in the markets carries a substantial risk. Never trade more than you can afford to lose, and especially be aware against high leverage trading. Past performance is never indicative of future performance, and especially be aware against over leverage trading. Okay, we had some weakness appear back in April 2024, and then I'm left with something like this so far. In this weakness area, we had a breakout above this track approximately here, but there's this one long candle, and we just only went to the side after hitting a double top here in this area. So we had all the way hit even below in our one area down here, all the way back to our lower areas, which is quite interesting. Before that health happened, there's no active sword cut that I can see based on this angle here. There's no active sword cut. We actually went much lower. I want to take a look at the volume real quick. We did hit one of the lower targets though based on this area. That's this one right here. We hit it in April of 2025. And then the upper targets would have been here. And we had hit there just quite nicely. That's interesting as well. I really love our target system. It lets us get a lot of hits preemptively. So when we broke up, we went to the upper target, came down, came to the lower target, and bounced there. Looks like that's what we're still playing. Let's now shrink this up and search for some of the more recent. Feel my life, Lord. Every part, let the power of the Holy Ghost fall on me, anointing on me. Interesting. Fall on me, oh no, fall on me. Let the power of the Holy Ghost. I think flats are active for this. And I'll tell you why. The top and here. And I'm going to TP projection the 50% boundary. Actually, flats are definitely active in this crypto. If I take my old target from this sector to this sector and I stretch it backwards, you can see we're bouncing back here. And then if I look at the flag, the top on a 2-week chart as well, and the reason I'm using a 2-week chart is because that's where this key angle up here matches on the bottom side. You can see the pressure just right along that angle right there. So that's why I'm using this 2-week chart. But it lets me see the flat a little bit more clearly as well. And clean up this chart a little bit. Okay. If I'm looking carefully at this flat, I can see that this is about the core area, maybe a little higher, and it matches the wicks area, and the cores down here, they're matching the cores here approximately. And then the other thing we notice is that on a smaller time frame, if I zoom in, I can actually see this one. Now here on the 2-week chart, you can't see it, but I think that there's something else at work, and I'll show you what it is. But let's look at that 2-day chart, and then you can see this a little bit more clearly. So when we do target system, there's a big target that's about right here, and the other is going to be just a little bit lower. But I'm seeing this one because I got some nice structures that I'm looking at here. Number one, I got a small bounce there, and then I come down underneath, and I'm rounding here for a little bit, 3 times, and then I come up, then we pop up, and then we bounce on here, and then we get stagnant a little bit, come down, come up to the underside, and then come up to the underside again, and then even now as we pop up, we're here. So even though we're no longer stretching out here, I can review this. We can still see that there's some respect even though price is disrespecting, and that's usually a sign that when price is playing on both sides, that's what I mean by disrespect. When that's happening, I usually view that as a sign of a mid-phantom or some type of reverberation. And so that's going to let me believe that there's some kind of the lower area that is here. And if we're trying to find what that lower area is, I'm going to try to find the midpoint. Now it's either this one or it's this one, but I'll tell you why it's not this one. Because if I take the distance from here, and just say I'm even being liberal, to here, and I just take that distance, and I duplicate that distance to the lower side, okay? Then I have to take one more flat and I bring this one. And I bring one more flat to the lower side. You can already see that I'm shooting out of the boundaries here. So the only way that this is still going to count or still be valid as the mid distance, as this is being my 50% marker, is if that I can put these back in the boundary. So if they're like a wick, that's going to be fine. I'm going to turn on a weekly chart to see if that's the case. And then that 2-week chart. And it could be, and then that means that this is the entire oscillation, and this could be just sticking out. But if it's not, and this right here is our mid area, then we're going to look for a little bit lower. So we'll take the distance 50% here, and then we're going to duplicate that, and then our lower area will be somewhere like right here. In either case, I'll get you both of those distances, okay? But these are going to be something I'm looking out for CSPR. So let's take that distance and let's give you those prices. I'm going to write down possible bottom DP flat, okay? And that means the duplication distance flat. And I'll give you the price 0.0097 to 0.0085, okay? And then I'll put this on the left side. And then I'm going to get you the other one. And both of those should be blue, by the way. And the other one is going to be based on the distance between the top to here. And that's going to get me somewhere around here. So basically 50% from here to here is going to get me this distance here if I project that to the lower side. So there may be a bottom down here. So let's write down that possible DP flat. And that price is going to be 0.0297 to 0.00260, okay? So there's some evidence that's the case. So I'm going to be looking at those two areas as being important. Okay, and then finally, let's close up and finish this one by looking at something that's more prevalent. We're going to draw the more immediate watch line based on this peak and that area, and I'll give it to you here. It's going to be from here to here approximately. Okay, that's going to be our more immediate watch line. Okay. And you can see that even though we tried to spike up here, there's still a lot of pressure in these areas. So I'm going to put a few health markers, one here, one back here where it can start respecting this line, and then finally the real big one is going to be up here. So I'm not really expecting this one to do super fantastic for me at the moment. Got a lot of volume on this up bar right here. It could be some heavy selling, and it's slightly less than this peak. So I'm not expecting it to have a super strong incentive to go through, even though there may be some selling here. And then this pair here, this up bar here, was followed by a strong down move. So we know that this was also selling. And then I'll show you the next weakness area, an area where you may want to start looking to get back down to earth, and that's going to be underneath this area. So let's put on some price labels. Here you go, 0.0084, 0.015, 0.019, and 0.036. So that's what we're going to be looking at. All right. Any other questions for me regarding CSPR? Thank you. Going once. Going twice. CSPR. Going once, going twice. All right. Let's look at the next one. ZEBEC. We previously identified one such oscillation in the mid-phantom level back in March. March, April, May. Yep. And I'm glad we did, because look, we're just still bouncing along this line. 0.0008 was the bottom, and the bottom actually should be 76. But yeah, 0.008 to 0.0076, and the top area back here, that's basically the old high, and that's where we're at now. Now this time I'm going to check the volume for this one. We got 0.0232 on the high side and 0.00214 on the low side. Okay, so this was a previous chart we had. You guys have this on our website, just check it out. See how I'm challenging 1, 2, 3? I'm going to be looking at the volume in just a moment, and this is what I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be looking at if there's an increase in volume at those 3 areas, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to be looking for a volume that's equal to, and I'm going to be looking for volume that's aggregately high. If I see those things, that one of those scenarios, then that means that the absorption has not been absorbed. And this is something I draw for you guys all the time with our crayons, and I draw this little diagram. So if I see that there's an increase in volume, the volume's getting much, I know that even if it's selling, there's not an absorption of all the supply, and we're going to be looking to challenge those areas in the future, if not continue going higher, with the greatest being the increase in volume, and equal to being second, and aggregately high being third in rank as far as we go. We're reading the volume. So let's take a look and see what we can find in those areas. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at those dates, and there it is. All right, so we have our first volume is going to be somewhere down here, and this is, again, this type of analysis is called the micro VSA analysis. I have lessons on this in the bonus section of our tutorials. So type in lessons 1 through 17 at the bottom. You're going to see the bonuses. Then we challenge again here, approximately this date. And these are where we're looking, these two, by the way. And then you can see that this is approximately about the date here for this one, and it's really high. Nope, that one right here. So here's what we have. We're left with something that looks like this. From the first to the second area, we have an increase in volume. Okay, so from area 1 to area 2. Then from area 2 to area 3, we approximately have something that's quite equal, or pretty close to being equal. It's slightly lower, of course. And then from area 2 and 3, from area 2 to 4, looks like we have this another strong increase in volume. So that means that even if they're selling, that's happening here, and they're just dumping the prices, they're doing a poor job, or they're not able to take all the supply in their hand. Too many traders are willing to trade with that at higher prices, and this generally means that we're going to be seeing higher prices in the future, or breakouts into the future. It could be now, it could be soon. I like to wait for USDT.D to be in a bullish season or a bullish time, and currently right now, in my opinion, it's in a bullish area for a short time. So we may see a breakout above those prices, and therefore that's why we're going to be looking for breakouts above 0.023 and 0.021. We're going to be looking to get this one to move somewhere higher after these areas. It could be now. This has been just oscillating flat. It is at a top. You are at a top, but the evidence is suggesting that we are going to eventually get a breakout to the high side. So that's something you want to keep in mind, okay? Let me write that down for us. Okay. And all right. What's today's date? May 5th. 25. After performing the micro VSA analysis on this current oscillation between the blue area, I can see that the volume is showing that there may be a breakout to the bullish side on the weekly chart, 0.00232 to 0.00214 area. I would be looking for this to move higher Okay, so that's going to be my take on that one. Why did it not show up? There it is. All right. Okay, now how high are we going to be talking about? Let's do the DP projection for this area. So we're going to simply take the distance, and I'm going to take the liberal side since that's about where the high side is. And then I'm going to come down to the low since I got so many wick matches. So that's I'm going to use the liberal side for both the top and the bottom. And then we're just going to move this up here, and then that's going to get me a flat. So that's going to give me somewhere about right there. And let me now give you those prices. So that's how I'm going to price that. And this is a crypto that once traded all the way up to 0.19 cents. So we'll talk about the percentage in just a second. But the numbers for this one are going to be 0.0070. So if you're taking notes, 0.0070 to 0.0066. And that's approximately where the DP projection is. So we can type in DP at there and that price. So that's where I'll be looking to get to. And if I was trading this right now and I didn't have anything else, we only have this oscillation, but if I was trading, this is what I would be looking at. Okay. Do I have any questions so far regarding this crypto? ZEBEC. Okay. I want to get that breakout first before I'm trading it. I don't want to waste my time or my money. I want to get prices above here, and then we can take the trade. And then finally, the percentage of money that's on the table is approximately 193% to the conservative side. So there's a possibility for 195, something like that, on the board. All right, final questions. Going once for ZEBEC. Going twice. Okay. All right, that's it. Let's go to the next one, DIA. Thank you for those who joined us in the Word Room this morning. We sure do appreciate you. Or the Word Room yesterday, Sunday. It's not really the Word Room. It's just a small daily reading for our daily reading today. But yesterday is our full message. And yesterday we taught a great message. Just encourage you guys to check it out. We did a message on teaching the judgment, and the Sunday after next, we're going to go to the follow-up that section of teaching about the tongue and godly wisdom. I thought I did this crypto before, but I'm not seeing it here. Let's take a look. DIA, USD. Let me check it on Binance. 51 cents. Lisa said this may affect Xenon's chart. Carrie said press release Zion and oil glass announced surface onshore Israel initial flow back. Targeted performance zone and simulation operations are successful. Guido Jezreel, a well re-entry have resulted in gas reaching the surface onshore in Israel. Wow, wonderful. So they hit gas. Good job. Xenog. Some of you guys who have Xenog, hope you do well. Okay, let's pull this up on, we're just going to use the Binance because I thought I had a chart on this, but I guess not. So I'll draw some thanks for you. Nice, price hit the sword cut quite nicely here. Is it these three? That one right there. That one. And nice sword cut right here at the bottom area. Very close to it. Yeah, the wick side. Yep, right there. Okay, we hit sword cut twice. That's good. We actually hit sword cut 3 times. I'll show you what I'm looking for here. It's going to be that one. Yep. And there's another sword cut right here. See? Right there. I love our method, the sword method. It points out a lot of hidden places within price based on just its structure alone. Okay, let's talk about, let's write these prices. We'll be looking for those as to be a breakout area in the future. 1.14. to 1.036. The lower side 0.0265. Nope, 0.265 to 0.2444. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna draw another resistance somewhere out here. I'll put a little marker of health out here. It looks like flats may be active. Cores matching the wicks. I'll put this as a range here. We'll make that as a flat. $6.17 to $4.79. And you can see that the 50% mark has already been hit, and that's where this old sword cut was at. So that overlaps. That's going to be interesting. 21 cents, 21.93 to 0.1956. Okay, 19 to 21 cents down here, but look where halfway is at. That's about halfway, right? Yeah. So we can see that our mid phantom is overlapping this sword cut that's back here with structures on both sides. So that's going to tell me that this is your bottom and this is your top. All right, so that's going to be very useful for you if you're trading DIA, okay, or any cryptos where you see that. Okay, very interesting. Let's see what else we can find. I'm going to put some markers of health above here and then below as well. We're going to do our weakness. So you can see that this area is both weak and it's a little bit of a delay area. You can mark that in yellow if you wanted to. Okay, I'm only going to look at a few more things for this one. The down move went down on relatively less interest, and we started moving higher in the macro volume analysis on increased volume. But only 2 bars were really here, and they were on really ultra high volume. So I don't know if I trust it too much at the moment. I think for me this is going to be a little bit too risky. The harmony might actually be the up move, but I don't have enough strong evidence right now that's the case. I do have some evidence that's the case. I'll draw it for you guys real quick. So here's my up moves, here's my down moves, here's my up moves, and here's my down moves. Okay, so of my up moves, you can see that there's an increase in volume. Of my up move here, there's a slight increase in volume. Here we have a small increase in volume, and this one's too close to tell right here, so I'm not going to draw that one. And then the down ones, we have the decrease in volume in this zone, and then the next down move here, we have that decrease in volume, and then we have another decrease in volume here for this last one. So if I'm performing the macro volume analysis, macro VSA, volume spread analysis, I'm going to say is bullish. Okay, it's still a little bit risky right now for me, but I'm going to say that of that analysis, it is bullish. Okay, so there's one in your corner for you. Would I buy this right now? Let's see, where are we at as far as the targets go? Let's do another target, a smaller target based on this last leg on a 2-day chart. And it might hint at something. Oh, that's good. Okay. See, one of our big targets is going to be down here, and we got one close above it. So that's something that indicates some bullishness. Let's take a look at the next target. The next target's going to be somewhere up in the sky a bit. And I'll get you a price note. On the conservative side, 93 cents. Current price, 51 cents. I do have one more target on the lower side. So again, I don't really know if I really trust this. Definitely not my cup of tea, I would say, at the moment. I like things a little bit more clear, but I'll give you these lower prices here. 0.40 cents might be an entry. 0.0410, 0.35, 79. I don't think we're going to the moon today or anything like that, but you are experiencing some kind of health. Now let's do one more watch line based on some of these areas. So if I'm drawing the watch line in these areas. I'm probably going to be looking maybe to the high side, which is where a smaller sword cut would be. Here in this area, I would be looking, I'm going to be looking probably towards the 40s. Yeah, 40 to 35 cents area before doing anything spectacular. So if I'm going to buy this during this window of bullishness, I'm going to be looking there. All right, that's where I would be looking. And then I would be looking to get out somewhere up there as an exit. Okay, probably along 893, and what's the prices here? 70 cents. So maybe about 80 cents, somewhere along that track. I'll be watching that track. That's what I would do if I was you. Okay, 93 cents. Okay. So depending on when we hit it, if we come up here, it's going to be about 84, 85, something like that. That's what I would expect. Does anybody have any other questions? My take on this crypto DIA. Right now being in bullish season for USDT.D, we have more opportunities for it to try to do something good. Okay, going once, DIA.
So you're saying it's bullish, right?
I think we're bullish right now. More bullish than I'm gonna say we're bullish. I don't see a lot of really any weakness on here. And you could draw a parabolic for the bottom side. Come on. All right, anyone else? DIA, going once. Going twice. All right, let's go to CRM. It's a stock. CRM. Salesforce. Looks like I got a little bit of a chart on here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, this parabolic's still working nice for us. That's quite nice. Follow the angle. You're gonna find it's still working nice. We just got a nice little bounce on the previous angle, so that's really good. Okay. We had a watch line that was back here. We were looking for health, and look at this nice big health, nice big juicy health. We got some, and price moved up pretty high for that one. That's really cool. Currently, price came down to a strong resistance. Oh, and this was what? A pink, so that was a swing target. So that's quite nice. Let's clean up this chart a bit. There is another sword cut that's probably gonna get some problems for us around 293. I'm gonna do my target system and see if I'm overlapping around 293, 297. Let's see. Kind of hard to tell. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, possibly a little bit higher than that. Yeah, I'm going to be looking at those two areas. $316. I'm sorry, $316 to $309. And you can see we just beat the old target, which is 265 to 260. That's a good sign that price is stepping up above this area. So I would be looking at sword cut and 316, 309, possibly right now based on these areas. And then let's draw some more. Let's see what we can find. I'm going to draw the event line, which we'll teach about on Wednesdays. If I'm going really too fast, I do apologize. I'm going to be doing tutorials on Wednesdays. Price not really respecting the event line so much. Let's take a look at the weekly chart and see if that changed at all. Okay. Yep. On the 2-week chart, you can see we're still respecting this event angle pretty exactly. So I'm going to be looking at this as a bouncing area. So I'm definitely going to be looking at this as a type of bounce. And let's duplicate our parabolic and place this on top. And let's see. Let's adjust our parabolic slightly. Okay, and I can delete the extra one. There we go. We're going to move it straight up and down to the highest energy center right now. That's going to be about right there. So right now the current resistance for this area is going to be somewhere up in the sky for CRM, probably close to $364. Let's go a little bit further into this. If there's a weakness, it's gonna a big weakness on this one. It's gonna be below that parabolic, which is around 228. So if you start trading below 228, something's wrong. You're probably gonna need to abandon ship on this one. But right now we're not even in that territory. Right now it's still bullish for this particular stock. Let's do a little more. I'm going to do my gesture tutorial real quick, or not tutorial. I'm going to do a gesture analysis real quick based on this more recent area. Nope. Let's just do this segment. Oh, I was doing this one. Okay, that's correct. Yeah, I'm going to put a lot of emphasis on 231. Okay, that's gesture, so let's delete that once done. Okay, let me give you another analysis on this one. I'm going to draw the wash line on this down move, which will indicate another health, possible health, somewhere at 329, somewhere around there, 325. And then I'm going to do one. Yeah, this is a really strong watch line. Let's watch the DP projection for this one. I'm sorry, not the DP. Let's watch a reverberation for this angle and pay attention to that. I want to be watching currently right now, upcoming 288 for this one. The reverberation may actually be strong. It's very similar to this angle here, very similar. And I wonder if that's the angle we need to watch. It looks like it is. It's going to be a very powerful angle in this sector. So as a reverberation, I'm going to put KR, and we're definitely going to watch it now. So I'm going to be watching, you need to watch this angle right here, 288. Price is probably going to reject off of there. I'm going to put a weakness marker on there. Okay, and you can use that possibly as a stepping stone to break up as well. Of course, all the lines that have a red dot, you can put a green dot on the opposite side. Like that. All right, I think that's all I'm going to give you right now for some of these things I see on the map. For us, for this, it's a little messy. It's a stock market, but it looks like it's gonna look like it's holding well. I think I only want to check one more thing. Flat. I'm going to give you a target to the upside. Okay, I'm going to be looking for prices to get up to $408 to $420 range. Yeah, that's what I'll be looking at for the high side. So if this ends up going and doing well, 408 to 420, and then 128 to 125 for the low side. Does anybody have any other questions for me regarding this stock CRM, Salesforce CRM stock? Take a screenshot now. Going once. Going twice. Sold. Let's look at POL. POL. This is another stock. This is POL. It's a crypto. Oh, for Polygon. Don't got nothing. Okay, let's go to Binance. Make one. Okay, I got this stock from September 2024. Let's look at another one to see if I go back further.
The symbol used to be MATIC. I wonder if you might have it listed under that.
I do. Does it still give us a correct data feed? May 5th? It looks like. Can we use that? Who is talking to me right now?
That was me.
Oh, hey, Paul. Good morning. Can we use this one, Paul?
Sure.
Okay, I'm at the lower parabolic based on this upper area, and the meaty part is about right there, and the wick range is about right here. So that's going to give me a range in this area from 22 cents to 18 cents, which is what we've had previously on our maps. So I like that. That's going to be a bottom. I have a concern. I have a few concerns. Number one, these areas right here are a double top, multi-touch flat. So that's going to lean me to look at flats. Are flats active? Are they active? And if they are, then the DP projection is going to be much lower. Okay, that means that if the primary oscillation between here and here is going to be this kind of like pattern, then the DP projection, if we fall low, is also flat. So we'd be looking at much lower target. The evidence that supports that is not just the top up there, but also these bottoms here. So you can see the bottom. We got a core here, a wick here, almost exactly to that bottom, and then we got another touch here. And so, however, I have written on here, if we bullish right now, I'm not going to be bullish for long. I'm going to be bullish only till about maybe 31 cents, 29 cents, and then maybe we're going to be coming back down for the count. So how we're going to do this is we can DP this to the lower side by measuring that distance from the top side here. So if I measure from here to here, then I'm going to take that measurement here to here, and this is going to get me pretty close to the ballpark. I'll write down those prices for you right now, but it's basically going to be DP at 0.0361. That's 0.361 to 0.339. So it's about 3 cents, which is quite low. Would you agree? We're not in that area of weakness yet, and we're probably going to be on our way back up to 31 cents. This is a healthy area. It looks like we had this as a health marker last time. It is a nice healthy area, but we're going to be looking to come up to 31 cents. So now I'm going to place this and borrow this one, just place it on the underside as an update. So yeah, bounce out of this area, move up to 31 cents, and then we're going to need to see if we can crack 31 cents and get back to the upper side. If it takes long, you're going to have some more reinforcements coming at you. For the negative side, it's going to be that angle right there that can help you knock you back down. For example, if price breaks up and starts coming up here, it's going to get slammed down not just by the blue line, but by this angle here. Some of the sellers who are getting out of their position, people who lost money here, they're going to dump and flood their supply in this along that track, and that can help swamp prices down. But being bullish, in the market, there's still some money to be made in here. Not my cup of tea. If I'm in a strong weakness area, maybe 28% on the board, possibly for MATIC. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna spend too much time on this one. I think it looks like I covered most of it in our previous video. I can see a lot of me talking about a lot of stuff in this previous one. I have a downward angle that's like this. Let's make sure that these match. So there's a red one here, you can see. And if price is oscillating in this way, then the DP projection is going to be between these two areas. So let's see if we need to adjust it, because it looks like I need to adjust the angle. So let's see where that next support is going to be. I'm going to measure this from here as a measurement line. And then we're going to duplicate this key angle out to the low side. And yeah, somewhere about right there. And right now, if price were to fall, it's going to be dynamic positive 0.0896. And what that means is that as time goes on, that number is going to keep rising over time. So like here, if it falls in July, it's 0.89, but if it falls in March of 2026, the price is 10 cents. So the support keeps getting higher and higher, and that's what I mean by dynamic positive if you're new to our community. If you're new and you're watching and you're saying, wow, Jason, you're going really fast, there is a lot of tutorials. Just type in lessons on our lessons page, and it's going to put you in the ballpark of learning how to get started. Type in lessons. There's a lessons page, lessons 1 through 17, plus our previous Sword Method 5.0. You'll see all of our filmings currently for Sword Method 6.0 and Sword Method 5.0, plus the bonuses you get from the lessons 1 through 17. At the bottom below there's lots of different lessons from some of the new stuff that is upcoming from Sword Method 7.0 that I didn't include as general teachings or tutorials. All right, any other questions for MATIC? Going once. MATIC. Going twice? Okay, MATIC. I'm only short-term bullish on this one, just really short-term, real short-term. All right, let's go to USDT. It gives us a good indication of what's happening with the crypto world. And as I let you guys know, I'm bullish this chart right now. I'm bearish this chart, bullish the markets. When this chart comes down, your cryptos go up. When this chart goes up, your cryptos come down. Currently right now, I believe we're on our way to 4.82 and possibly 4.4 4.45 area. So these two targets is what's on the board. Right now we're rejecting on the underside of our upper target, which is 5.26 to 5.14. You can see that we're just got our close underneath the target. Then last week we stopped right here on the underside, and even today we're just starting the week with 6 days left to go, and we don't really do anything so far, but last week we just closed right underneath that target. That's a good sign we're on our way back there, which means we want to be in bullish cryptos over the next 2-3 weeks. We want to be careful. Now this could clear in a single day, but basically it's something like that. So either we're going there or we're going here, but those are going to be the two areas where I'm looking to get off the train and things to reverse. Okay, if it's now in this season, it's possible we can wick down to even these areas. 4.49 is about the average of these areas, and then from there we're going to be looking to possibly see some cryptos fall again. But at the moment we want to be looking for numbers to go higher, like Bitcoin go higher, things like that. This was a great time to get out of shorts and things like that, because you're probably going to see some new numbers. We're probably going to hit the higher 100s in Bitcoin and things like that, and you'll probably see XRP challenge more the tops again. I don't know if we're running all the way to $5 in this season with this, but it's possible that we can get a good bounce. Now if we get underneath here, that's going to be even more bullish for cryptos, but I'm going to be looking to get underneath this watch line area, and it's based on an area in the past here. I'll show it to you in just a moment. It's this area right about here. So if I can build underneath there, there's a good chance we're going to come down even to the lower 3.5 area, 3.5%. And I have a target with some numbers here, and the numbers are going to be, let's put the numbers here inside the box, 3.83 to 3.45%. This range is going to be just a great chance for prices to do something nice for us. And then I'm looking to come out of this on a curve. So if that happens right now, I don't know if this is all going to happen in this season, but it's definitely something that I'm watching out for. I've been watching for this pink line for a little bit over a few years now, watching for that area. And every time we get really close, last time we hit the target quite nicely, and then bounced out. But the next big target is going to be probably the swing target, which is going to be just underneath this area. But as you remember, I had a vision and a dream that we were actually underneath this area at some time. So sometime we're underneath that pink line, which means that if prices will move from here to here in a downward way, that means that prices are going to be very bullish. So we're going to be looking for cryptos to be at a high number when this is happening. So in its stages right now, I just think we're in a smaller stages, but longer term, I'm looking to be here. And then we also have an upper resistance around 7%, and Triple J heard 7, and then she heard 2, possibly 2%. So those are those extremes. So it's very possible we're going to be hitting 7% sometime, which means things will still get bearish, and this is a new bearishness. So we're probably going to see cryptos at new lows, or not, I shouldn't say new lows, but lower than they currently are in the last pullbacks. So I think we're still going to be able to get some nice cryptos if we can hit those first. But right now, we move all of that aside just to focus on what's more immediate, and what's more immediate is probably 4.82 and 4 to 4.70 and 4.45 to 4.30. So let's get here first, and then we'll slow it down and talk a little bit more. Okay. Any other questions regarding my take on the markets? USDT.D. No? All right. Let's finish up today with Euro USD. I got Euro USD. It's going to be here on the Forex chart, as I let you guys know that I'm in a bearish position regarding my thoughts on this crypto. Okay, so Euro USD, I'm basing it on the EXY. The EXY is in a bearish position, USD in a stronger bullish position. So when we combine the pair Euro USD, we're going to be looking for Euro USD to come down. This is after, if we did target system on the last leg up, we had 1.1284 to 1.1226, and then the lower target 1.1163 and 1.11. So I'm actually looking us to get here, but a bounce here up in this area is great. So I want to get a good entry on this short. I'm taking a short position. So sometime like with a pullback like this, it's great. I think these are going to be good sword cut prices. In my opinion, I think that we still have a ability to pull back some. I don't want to like super over leverage or throw a lot of money at it in a single trade. You don't want to do that with Forex. It can be all too easy to throw the bank at it. But we want to understand the seasons we're in. So right now, these are going to be possibilities. Now, I also have a possibility of 1.07 to 1.06, but those are going to be areas where I'm going to be looking to get to. So if I'm rejecting from the upper areas, I'm looking at maybe 1.16 to 1.15. And anything like a pullback is a nice entry. I want to get the highest prices I can before getting into this trade, but I'm looking for this one to come down. And I like that this parabolic has been broken in this area. You could draw your sword cut. If you draw it in orange, it's going to be somewhere about right there. About right where the break is at. That's where we're going to be at. So I like that. I don't care so much that we got this pullback. We're supposed to have it since there's a support there based on the current target that was just hit. So that's going to be on the board. And then finally, I'll show you the EXY chart that this is all based on. So that if I look at the EXY, you can see that there's a very large resistance that has been hit that we were expecting to get hit based on some very large trends back from 2008. Okay, so large resistance here coming up, and this is the wick side, and then we can see also the lower supports is coming up here. So they formed this nice little vortex right here in this area, and you can see that we got slammed down after trying to go up to this area. So we got slammed down. So this is a weak area for the euro index, which means that the euro is going to be looking most likely to take a reverse on what it's been doing. It looks like the euro is going to be coming down in that sense. If it does, we're going to be seeing the euro USD, most likely, as long as the US dollar can stay strong, we're going to see the euro USD come down, and then there's a great disparity there, so there's opportunity for profit on there. Now, everything in this video is never a financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Remember that, okay? But I think that it's going to be fun to see the euro move in with a stronger probability. Now, you can never guarantee anything in any market. You can only stack the odds in your favor. But for some of you guys who are Forex traders, this might be right up your alley. If we come down from here and we come down to 106, watch the EXY chart to understand where you're going to take your trade on your USD chart. Just like a FIFI, we had a larger FIFI chart. You can use that FIFI chart in wrapped ether because it has more candles and more data to trade currently FIFI, what you're trading. Use those as a marker. So you use this as a roadmap to look at what you're doing. You can use the EXY to help you with your Forex trading. So you're not just looking at the Forex chart, you're looking at the EXY. What's the EXY telling you? That's one component. Then you look at the DXY. What is the dollar index telling me? The DXY. What is that telling me? And then you apply those two. If one's strong and one's going down, then whichever one is in the first position. If the pair is euro USD, it's the first position is euro. So if euro's going down, you want to trade that one going down. You want to short those cryptos. So right now, that's what I'm thinking is the strongest opportunity in the markets right now is the euro US dollar. Looking at the euro to come down to 106 for it on this weekly chart. Does anybody have any other questions, comments, my thoughts regarding euro and the EXY? Okay. I would love if it's a really big trade, it'll be down here, but man, that's just a fantastic. I think it'll probably be at least a fantastic opportunity. Hopefully it will hit on the low side. You can't guarantee anything. You can only stack odds in your favor. I think the odds are in our favor right now. And as they would tell Katniss Everdeen, may the odds ever be in your favor. Yes, I just said that. No, I'm not a big Hunger Games fan. All right, any other questions? Going once, euro. Going twice, euro. All right. If you have more requests, I'll be back for some tutorial day on Wednesday, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want you guys to show up on Wednesday for our tutorial classes. You can learn some things. I won't just be giving you my analysis. I'll give you tutorials to help you guys get there yourselves. I sure do love you guys. I'm going to say a closing prayer for you all. Father, I pray that you would sharpen our minds. I pray, Lord, that you would bring us clarity in every area of our life. We ask that you would keep us humble. We ask that you would keep us optimistic about the future. Keep us from discouragement. Keep us also from greed. Sometimes, Lord, we go to places in our minds where we're so greedy we cannot see and be unbiased. Help us to be biased. Help us to be unbiased in the times when we're so tempted to be biased. I pray that you would give us peace in all areas of our life. Heal our bodies. Heal our minds. Heal us from trauma and wounds. Heal us in every area. Heal the sick. And empower us to lay hands upon the sick. Empower us with strength. Empower us with wisdom, godly wisdom. We put our faith, we put our trust and our hope in you. May you bless them. May you keep them. Make your face to shine upon them. Look upon them with favor. Be abounding to them with grace. Be gracious unto them. Lift up your countenance towards them, Lord, and give them peace. In Jesus' name, amen. I sure do love you. If you need to get a hold of me, j.song7784, j.song7784 at iCloud.com, or just message me right in the Patreon app, and then I'll see those messages for you. I sure do love you guys. You have a great day, and with that, I'll be right back for any last minute questions.